Will the F-47 repeat history? How the US F-35 outshined Europe's Rafale and Typhoon, and what comes next at a time when European nations are championing self-reliance in defense. The reality on the ground paints a far more complex picture. Despite bold rhetoric about reducing dependence on American military platforms, the latest wave of defense procurement in Europe tells a familiar story, one where the United States, once again, dominates the skies. The F-35 boom in Europa since the beginning of 2025. A growing number of European countries have doubled down on their investment in the US-made F-35 fighter jet, ignoring the presence of homegrown alternatives such as the Eurofighter Typhoon, France's Rafale, and Sweden's Gripen. Italy, for instance, recently announced an order for 25 additional F-35s, 15 in the F-35A variant and 10 in the short takeoff and vertical landing F-35B variant, bringing its total commitment to 100. The UK followed suit with 12 more jets, while Belgium confirmed plans to buy 11 additional F-35s, expanding its fleet to 45. Romania had already signed a letter of offer and acceptance in late 2024 for 32 F-35A jets. Meanwhile, reports suggest Germany is exploring a new order for 15 more F-35s, although conflicting updates leave this unconfirmed. Spain, Austria, and Greece are also evaluating new orders. Clearly, Europe's appetite for the F-35 is far from waning. If anything, the momentum is accelerating, casting doubt on whether European-made aircraft can stay relevant in their own backyard. Why not Rafale, Typhoon, or Gripen? The idea of a self-reliant European defense industrial base isn't new. In the 1980s, a group of European nations, Germany, Britain, Italy, and Spain, collaborated to develop the Eurofighter Typhoon. France went its own way with the Rafale. Sweden introduced the Gripen. All three jets are highly capable 4.5 generation fighters. But despite their availability, most European countries have chosen the American F-35. And it's not just newcomers. Many nations that helped develop the Typhoon are now placing follow-up orders for F-35s. Even core members of the Typhoon program, Germany, the UK, and Italy, have shifted their loyalty. The Typhoon is now struggling to remain in production, with Britain's Ministry of Defence publicly backing export efforts just to keep the production lines open at BAE Systems' Wharton facility. Austria is the only European country to purchase Eurofighter Typhoons outside of the program's core members. In contrast, 10 European countries have ordered F-35s, and at least 2 more are expected to join. As for Rafale, it's mostly limited to France, Greece, Croatia, and Serbia. The Gripen's customer base in Europe is even narrower, limited to Sweden, Hungary, and the Czech Republic. The F-35E's technological edge plays a crucial role here. As a fifth-generation stealth fighter, it offers low observability, advanced sensors, and seamless interoperability with NATO forces. But the dominance of the F-35 is not only about capability, it's about trust, support, and industrial reliability. A glimpse into the future, the F-47 vs FACEAS and GCAP. If history is any indication, Europe may be on the verge of repeating its strategic missteps. 2 major European 6th-generation fighter programs are underway. The FACEAS Future Combat Air System, led by France, Germany, and Spain, and GCAP Global Combat Air Program, jointly developed by the UK, Italy, and Japan. These are Europe's answer to the upcoming American Next-Generation Air Dominance (NGAD) system, expected to be fielded as the F-47. But once again, signs point toward the F-47 becoming the next dominant force, just as the F-35 did before it. Here's why. 1. Timeline advantage. The F-47 is ahead of the curve. Experimental versions of the aircraft's so-called X-planes have been flying since 2019. The US aims for a first flight by 2029 and operational deployment in the early 2030s. By contrast, Europe's FACEAS and GCAP aim for demonstrator flights between 2027 and 2029, with full induction between 2035 and 2040. In the midst of rising global tensions and worsening European security scenarios, even a few years of head start could prove decisive. 2. Partnership friction. Joint development programs involving multiple countries are notoriously fragile. The FACEAS and GCAP are already showing signs of internal tension. In FACEAS, France is reportedly demanding 80% of the work share, creating friction with Germany and Spain. In GCAP, Italy has criticized the UK for prioritizing its own interests, echoing earlier joint development failures like India's exit from the FGFA program with Russia, or France's withdrawal from the Panavia Tornado and Eurofighter programs. These internal rivalries and trust issues could derail or delay both European sixth-generation efforts. 3. Stealth expertise. The United States is decades ahead in stealth aircraft development. From the F-117 and B-2 Spirit to the F-22 and F-35. The U.S. has mastered the design, production, and deployment of low observable technologies. The F-47 is expected to feature Stealth++ capabilities advancing even beyond the F-22 is Stealth+, and the F-35's baseline stealth. Europe's experience with stealth is virtually non-existent, placing it at a technological disadvantage from day one. 4. Industrial strength and combat readiness. The U.S. brings unmatched industrial capacity to the table. Its mature aerospace ecosystem enables faster scaling, efficient logistics, and combat-proven upgrades. The F-47 will likely benefit from America's leadership in AI-driven combat systems, sensor fusion, and loyal wingman, drone integration components crucial for future aerial warfare. The U.S. military-industrial complex is designed not only to innovate, but to deploy at scale, something Europe's fragmented defense industry struggles with. Will Europe buy American again? Despite lofty talk of strategic autonomy, the facts on the ground suggest that Europe may once again lean heavily on the United States for next-generation air dominance. The F-35's rise is no fluke. It represents a confluence of stealth, interoperability, and support infrastructure that European platforms simply haven't matched. The F-47 looks set to continue that trend. While FACEAS and GCAP are commendable efforts, their timelines, internal politics, and technological gaps may leave European nations with little choice but to adopt the F-47 when it arrives, especially if geopolitical threats. The story of the F-35's dominance is not just about capability, it's about timing, trust, and technological momentum. And unless Europe can overcome its own internal hurdles, the sixth-generation skies may once again be ruled by stars and stripes. History may not just rhyme, it may repeat.